G'day and welcome to A Down Under Yarn. I am your host Fiona, also known as Fifykins. If you find someone on the internet called Fifykins, it's probably me. Today is Wednesday the 11th of December 2013. It's about 6 p.m. and this is episode number 50 of A Down Under Yarn. 50! Which is pretty exciting. I'd like to thank everyone for hanging around. You know, it seems like the golden episode, but I don't know how golden this episode is going to be. Where should I start? This is take 23. It feels like take 23. It's not really. The lighting's just been really bad. It's getting towards sundown. And then last time I recorded, Ninja started talking as well, which didn't sound the best. So I just thought I'd carry on. Week that was. It's been a busy week, and I think just because it is leading up to the holiday season, you know, I thought with the kids off school I'd be able to have all these sleep-ins. I don't think I've had a sleep-in yet. Maybe Saturday, Sunday. No, Saturday I had a sleep-in. Anyway, Imogen has started work experience this week, which is very exciting for her. She missed out earlier in the year because she just got back from Japan, so she's spending the week at one of the local radio stations. Actually, two of the radio stations, they're run by the same company. I don't know, I think she made a mistake on the first day when they asked her if she listened to Hot FM, and she goes, no, not really. So, anyway, so that's that. She is busy doing that, which means I drop her off in the mornings and pick her up in the evenings. But hey, it's something she wants to do, and it's really the area she wants to get into, so go for it. That's what I say. Apart from that, Jasper, I've been running him around. He's been to friends' houses. He's, you know, little social butterfly that he is. On Saturday, we had the Christmas party for Mimmel's work, which was interesting. I think I've mentioned before, Mimmel works in psychiatry, so getting together with a bunch of psychiatrists is always an interesting experience. Especially when they start analysing each other. Anyway, so that's been that. Apart from that, little things happening, but nothing of note. I'm in Australia. Fantastic seeing all the entries for the Gunner Knit Along. Now that goes until the end of the year. That is for the projects you always said you were going to do this year. I'm gonna get around to it. Well, here's your chance to get around to something and finish off something or do something or cook something, or some people have been making bags. They've been wanting to start making project bags for themselves, and they've started doing it, which is great to see things like that. Someone contacted me and said that they've always wanted to make a Christmas cake, and this is the year they're going to try and make a Christmas cake, so I look forward to seeing that photo in there. People have said, you know, they wanted to make a Christmas present for someone, or they wanted to finish something before Christmas Eve, or they wanted to do all sorts of things. So really fantastic to see so many things in there. People who are finishing projects, people who are getting stuff ripped, anything. So head along to the thread on A Down Under Yarn and you will see lots of chatter there and also the finished objects. The other thing, of course, is the poppies, which I'll briefly mention again now. If you are looking at the poppy project, which needs to the poppies, what am I saying? The poppy project, which is the 5,000 poppies project. Now, the other thing, which I will mention in acquisitions. No, will I mention acquisitions or will I mention it now? If I mention it now, I've got a race just behind me. Keep chat amongst yourselves. Okay, you'll remember a couple of weeks ago, and I'm sorry if you just had a big view of my huge mess behind me. Apologies. A few weeks ago, I was talking about the swans and challenging people to make a donation with Pennywenny. Wendy from Knit One Heart 2 has done the most amazing video. She's made swants and she's done the most amazing video of her dancing in her swants and is encouraging people to make a donation to the charity of their choice. I've donated to the Red Cross because for their Philippines disaster appeal, there goes a plane overhead, which is unusual. Anyway, I've donated to the Red Cross. I encourage you to make a donation. I'm hoping next week to have my swants made. and I will do a dance in my swans. Now, yes, I had to pull it out of a parcel bag because I had to order on eBay. I live in the tropics. The chances of finding jumpers in our op shops, our thrift shops, is quite rare. And I had a look around a couple and there was nothing that was suitable. There were what I call wind cheaters, which are cotton knit material, which wouldn't work for making swans. So I looked on eBay and I got this jumper for about $2.50 and postage cost about 5 times that. But I'm cool with that. So here is the jumper. I almost feel criminal cutting it up. It looks purple on there. It's more burgundy than purple. Apparently it is... Wow, it's got a label inside. It's Land Royale from Edinburgh. And I believe it's alpaca from the description. What have we got? Pure new wool from Shetland, knitted in Scotland. This is criminal, but I'm going to cut it up and make some swans. Yep, and it's got the hand wash only. Hey, it means it won't fray as much. So this is going to become my swans, and yes, in the middle of summer I will do a dance in my swans. So that is something that is happening. I wanted to mention that in Australia, and I'll put a thing up, but I do encourage people to think about giving this holiday season as well to people less fortunate, whether you put a present under a Christmas tree outside a shopping centre. I know the ABC in Queensland is doing a big drive for toys for children in foster care, and they're desperate for toys from children aged 10 to 17, they said. So I might also look at grabbing a couple of nail polishes or something. They're always a nice thing to be able to give to people at Christmas. Boys, I'm still stuck with boys' presents. I'm hopeless at boys' presents. Anyway, I think that is about all in Administratia. So let's get on to some knitting. I have no finished knitting objects. I do have some works in progress though. Last week I mentioned the amazing Kimberlolly and her advent stole. I made a start on it. I have completed 20 rows, which is a start. I really am enjoying this. You can't see much from that, and that's okay. It's what's that stitch doing there? It shouldn't be there. It should be on there. Thank you. I have to concentrate a lot on it, and it's been a bit of an up and down week, concentration-wise. Mimel had a mole cut off today, and I've been stressed about that. Just because I stress about things. He's not stressed about it, but I'm stressed about it. So yeah. So I've been stressing about that. So I thought, really am enjoying this and look forward to finishing it. I've seen people's projects from what they're doing now, and it's just gorgeous. I'm using Cascade Alpaca Lace. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, they're 50-gram balls. It's a beautiful purple colour which has a number. It is in my project notes, which I will link to in the show notes. Of course, show notes are available at fifykins.com. And I hope to get this finished sometime. So, yeah. The other thing I have been working on is the Measured in Love hat. Now, that's been designed by Megan of the Stockinette Zombies, and it's a very, very important project to me. Megan last year released a hat pattern, and I've just forgotten what it was called. I'm just going to quickly look it up because I know that I did it and it might come to me before I get to it. This is the Measure in Love. Last year was, here's me thinking, when was that? I'm looking at these. For Good, that's right. This year's the Measure in Love. Last year was For Good. And the proceeds of the sale of this pattern go towards women's health. And it's in memory of Megan's sister, who died 5 years ago. And it would have been her birthday at the end of November. So I really encourage everyone to go and look out for the pattern. I think it's a fantastic pattern, so I would encourage you to go and buy it and to knit it up. It calls for a DK to light worsted weight yarn. I decided to use a fingering held double. So I'll just show you first. This is the yarn I'm using. That's a pretty good representation. This is, of course, Yarn vs. Zombies. It is the Wispy Base, which is a single ply yarn, which I'm holding double. It's a Downton Abbey club colourway, which is the Hunting Tweed colourway, and it really is beautiful. And it is knitting up just beautifully. that is the back of it. And then around at the front, there is this beautiful motif down the side there. I've just done one pattern repeat so far. I've still got another one to go. Because you've got garter stitch in the round, it does take a bit more effort than if you were just knitting plain stockinette in the round, like a lot of hats, but it is so worth it. I know I'm holding this double, so it's going to give an extra squishy effect, but can you just... I wish you could all feel this, because the garter stitch, it's so squishy. It is just beautiful. And I don't know what I'm going to do with the hat. It's not something I will get to wear, so I'm thinking about a couple of things, but once it's finished, I'll show you next week. Beautiful ribbing down the bottom, beautiful use of slip stitches, and yeah, again, a really fantastic pattern. There is a cowl pattern as well with the hat pattern, all for the same price, so you get 2 patterns for the price of 1, and I really encourage you to head along to the Ravelry site to grab a copy of the pattern, if only because you'll be making a donation to the Women's Health Network, and that is something that's pretty important. On to spinning. I finally got around to applying my Wibbly Wobbly Timey Wimey, which was a club colourway from Into the World. I haven't soaked it or thwacked it yet, but to say I'm pleased would be an understatement. I got 504 yards or thereabouts, plus I had a whole lot of singles left over that I tried to put onto a centerable ball and apply together, but they ended up in a tangled mess, so I just went, nah, that's it. So probably I would have got about 520 yards maybe. So my best yardage yet. I'm really happy with the consistency I got. There are some underplied bits in there I can see now, but yeah, lots of barber poling, which is what I was aiming for. This is based on a photo of the TARDIS, of course, floating through space. And because I've got such a great yardage, really hoping to knit a Farbenfroh with this, which is a Kimberley Gunter Kimberlolly pattern. Kimberley, of course, Kimberlolly is the Advent stole as well. So that would be fantastic if I could do that. But I will soak this soon and get it soaked and thwacked and dried and, you know, set the twist, etc. So really pleased with that. Nothing on the wheel at the moment. Just it's been so hot that it just doesn't... When your hands are sticky all the time, I just feel getting the fibre through them is just... It's a bit... bleh. Acquisitions. Now, I meant to talk about these acquisitions last week and I didn't, but first I'm going to talk about my knitting needles that arrived from China. Now, silly Fifi can't read an eBay listing. Or if I can, I get confused between metric. No, I can't even use that. Or perhaps I can if I thought it was 40 centimetres and I thought it was 40 inches. Oh, whatever. I ordered hat needles. And here they are. I'm using one set on here. They're 17-inch needles. They're fantastic. They're not the sharpest needles you will ever get, but hey, when I'm doing knit 2 togethers and slip knits and I'm holding 2 strands together, so I'm really knitting 4 stitches together, it's getting through them without any hassle. So I'm happy with that. I don't know if I'm ever going to use... I think that's about a size 0. I don't think I'm ever going to use that in a hat. Shoot me if I ever decide to knit like a lace weight hat and something like that. But really happy with these, and I've got a little plastic darning needle, and I do like those plastic darning needles too. And they came in this nice case, imitation leather. I also got with this some bamboo hat needles, which I knew I'd ordered, those ones. And because they really only cost a few dollars, I was able to go back and order the longer needles when these arrived. They did take a while to get here. I think it was about 4 weeks, which is about normal from China. I think these came from Hong Kong. Postage from there is very hit and miss, and I'm not sure which end it is. I think they go through a lot of custom screening when they get to Australia, and that may be what one of the big hold-ups is. But anyway, glad they're here and glad I'm using them and really enjoying them. I'm pretty sure they're made, if not in the same factory, in a sister factory to the Chaogu needles. They have the shape, the bend on the end, they have the same bluntness of the tip as my Chaogu sock needles, but of course they've got the silver cable instead of having a red cable. Either or, they're really good. Now, what I meant to mention from last week as well, my other acquisition, which is just here, I got my second ball. I've now got it because it's been sitting on the table here, coming apart from the Spartacus Dyes, the club colourway, which was the collaboration between Mary Gale from Spartacus Dyes and Josh from Sword of Anita. Now this, it's two yarns there. There's pumpkin pie in the middle and cranberry, so it was meant to represent Thanksgiving. It's a worsted 50 grams of pumpkin pie, which is about 108 yards, 100 grams of cranberry, which is 217 yards. The Joss Whedon worsted, 100% superwash merino, Thanksgiving dinner. 2013 November Holiday Club, hand dyed for Fifikins. I love Mary Gale's labels. She always does a great job with the labels. There is a fantastic hat pattern that Josh has put out that I probably will knit up with this. I'll be interested to see how the colours go together. I love them separately, but I'm not sure how they're going to go together. But that's the joy of it, and they probably will look fantastic once it's done, especially with the pattern that's there. So really looking forward to that. I think I've got one more shipment coming from that club, and that should be here sometime in the next month, I suppose. Who knows with these things? I've heard some very amazing things about Australia Post leading up to the holidays. They tend to pull their finger out because they know that people rely on delivering presents. So I posted a whole lot of things last week, and some of them got there in record time. Some are still waiting to get there. So there's no rhyme or reason. I don't understand it. But still, that has arrived, and I've just wound the yarn around there again. So looking forward to doing that. And of course, beautiful presentation. Actually came with a nice ribbon around it and a beautiful bag, but I've taken them off long ago because I've been, smushing the yarn as you do. Now, last week when I went up to Port Douglas to meet up with the most amazing viewer who I told you about, she brought me some presents. That's not a present, that's something I bought up there, which is for this month's club. Anyway, she was a bit naughty, and she may or may not have been able to get this into the country. This is beautiful fleece, and it is, I believe, from a llama. So I'm looking forward to getting this done. I don't know if you can see the beautiful rich colours there. It's got chestnuts, it's got blacks, it's got browns. I think it's going to spin up just magnificently. So I'm looking forward to that. There's no visible VM on it, so I can't see any reason why it wouldn't have got through customs. For all I know, this has been processed, and that's the line I'm sticking to anyway. So there is that. Then she saw me talk about it. She got me some grits, which I haven't opened yet. The kids keep saying, "What is it? What is it?" And I have to keep saying to them, "I'm not really sure, but I think it's a bit like pup, which they've had in Africa, which is cornmeal. I think it's actually quite a bit like pup, which they know of, or else a bit like porridge made out of corn that we're going to add cheese to, apparently. Whatever it is, it's a bit exciting." And finally, the most exciting bit, she saw on Ravelry that there are some things in the Ravelry store that can't be shipped outside the USA and Canada, and found one of those and sent it and brought it over for me. And it's the Ravelry OPI nail colours. So, not OPI, they're Colour Club by Soak. They're just gorgeous nail lacquers, nail colours. So I'm going to paint my toenails tonight. I am going to soak my feet. They're from Soak Wash. Anyway, I'm going to soak my feet and paint my toenails. I'm not sure which colour, the red or the pink or the green. I might paint them green. It's a bit festive. I did go all out with my festive nails. Went purple and silver, which may or may not be linked to one of my festive colourways this year. So, and there's a badge. Isn't that gorgeous? From Mochi Mochi Land. That's really lovely. So that was fantastic to be able to go and meet up with someone who'd come all this way. And yeah, so yeah, really, just the friendliness I get from people all the time who watch the podcast, who just send me messages. It's very, very much appreciated. I've been doing this now for 50 episodes, and I just think, oh yeah. I got my bill last week for my storage that I have to pay each month, and it's gone up every month, and that coincides with the number of viewers, which kind of surprises me, because I can see the number of people who watch on YouTube, but not through other things. I can see the number of hits I get on the blog, but I can't see how many people download through Downcast or anything like that. And to see that there are still people watching, it sort of astounds me at times, when a lot of the times it's not that golden. Anyway, I'm probably now going to move on to the shop. So if you are not hanging around for shop stuff, I totally understand, and I look forward to catching up with you next week. Now, I had my first ever, I think, what I would class my first ever boo-boo, major boo-boo, in that I posted something off to someone and then realised I'd sent it on the wrong base. So I just sent them a message saying, hey, so sorry, hardest apologies, I'm dyeing up the proper one, it's coming out to you. So that's in the mail now. Anyway, it meant that I did have to do some dyeing. And then, because I didn't take very good notes, well, no, because my notes weren't as productive as they could have been, which is totally my fault, I then dyed up the wrong colourway. But that's good, because people then get to have this themselves. So I have going up on Friday a City Sidewalks in the Boulder colourway. Now this is the Stellina. You can see the Stellina poking through there. So this is the bluey purple, the darker one. This will be going up in the shop Friday morning. 9:30 is the update time, Australian Eastern Standard Time. And that's got, you know, a gazillion different time zones all around the world. So I will announce it on Plurk. I will put these colourways up as well in the next 24 hours on the Solar Flare Fibres blog, and that is solarflarefibres.com.au. So they will go up in preview mode on there. I've been doing quite a bit of work on it behind the scenes on the blog this week. A lot of it hasn't been published yet. It's still there. So I'm looking forward to that being fully operational as well. I have started doing some, I'm going all over the place here. I started doing some Facebook advertising and have been getting some new likes from that, which is really exciting to see. Comments from people who haven't necessarily been, have known about Solar Flare Fibres before. And of course I've been doing Ravelry ads, and it's nice to have people say to me, I saw your ad on Ravelry, which is really kind of cute. And of course the ad at the moment states that for the month of December, all gift certificates will have 15% value added to them. So that's something to consider leading up to the holidays. Now, earlier this week, when I was hitting the dye pots, I came across some colours I had in the fridge, because I have to store all my dyes in the fridge, especially in this climate, otherwise they get layers of mould on top. I discovered that very early on. It's mainly yellow that does that for some reason, but I had some blended colours, and I'd used them for some of the holiday colours, some were for previous club colours, things like that, that I had still sitting in the fridge. And I thought, and then I just thought, why not just do a few different one-of-a-kind colourways using up what's there? So I have 3 to share with you. One, there's a group of us who are doing a magic ball, so I'm sending one of them off for the magic ball because I really wanted to keep it for myself. And I knew this was going to happen. I knew that once I'd done these, I'd want to be able to create parts of the colours again, but part of this is also the mystery that you get from having, I suppose, a little bit in here and a little bit in there. So, started off, I had some purples to use up, so I thought, let's do purples and pinks. So this skein here, I didn't actually wind these with my dowels, which I usually do. I haven't reskeined them. I wanted to show people the length of the colour repeats, I suppose, and also a bit more of the colour. So you can see there are three different pinks around here, and then 3 different purples. But they're all very similar colour families. And I think one of the reasons I had one of the purples left over is because I mixed it to begin with. And I've had it sitting in the fridge thinking I'll do something with that, but there wasn't enough of it. And when I mismixed it, I didn't actually write down what I mismixed it with. I just knew it wasn't the right purple for another colourway. So there's this one. there. So that is a one-of-a-kind pinks and purples. I mean, this is a technique I do quite a bit of now. This time I actually try something a bit different, which has worked out. So that's worked well. That's just a hand scanning, so it's not going to be very tight, but there's that one. Then I had blues. And part of this was I got some new dyes during the week, and one of them was a new blue that I wanted to see what it was really like, and I didn't want to dye a whole skein of it because I thought that'd be a bit boring. I didn't want to wind up a mini skein, so I thought, why not do part of a blue? So this one is lots of different blues, and again, not reskeined. So if you can imagine this reskeined, you'd get a lot more of the variety through there, but I wanted to show people as well, not reskeined. I hope in the next couple of weeks I will be able to order a special reskeiner. At the moment I have a nitty noddy and a skein and a swift and a ball winder which I can use to reskein yarns, but it does take a while. I'm hoping I can get a double, like a double swift almost, that I can use to reskein yarns. So I'm in conversations with someone about that. So that was going to be one of my Christmas gifts to myself. So that is the one-of-a-kind with the blues. And you can't actually see, but that is actually quite a tealy aquary kind of blue there. As you can probably see behind me, the light's going down a lot. And the third one is greens. I had 2 greens sitting in the fridge that I thought, so this one is greens, and then I put some browns in with it as well. So there are some lighter bits, there are some darker bits, and again, you can probably see the length of the repeats there. That green there, I don't know if you can, it's actually quite vivid, and it really is a beautiful green. I know how I did that green, so I'm really pleased with that. And yeah, so there is that one there. So those 3 will be going up. Now, I will also have spots going up for the second round of the Where the Rainforest Meets the Reef Club. I've decided to keep going with the theme, at least for another 3 months, because I'm just so inspired by where I live, which is in tropical North Queensland in Australia. We have the World Heritage Rainforest on our doorstep. We have the Great Barrier Reef. And I've just got lots and lots of different ideas for different colourways. So there you go, there's that one there. So there will be some spots going up again on Friday. Again, a perfect Christmas present or holiday present, whatever you want, to throw in front of your loved ones and say, hey, that'd be nice. And it's something you'll get in January, February and March. I have sent out the last month's club shipments, and a lot of those have been received, and I've had some very nice comments. There are some photos up online, and I'm going to put a couple of photos in the spoiler thread in the Solar Flare Fibres group. Now, the next club will be going up on Friday. As I say, it'll be 3 months. It's a 3-month club. Each month there's a little extra that gets thrown in, and there will be at least 1 new yarn, and also there will be at least 1 yarn that has a luxury fibre, be it a cashmere or a silk. Now, that's not to say that that each will have 3 different things. It may just be the new yarn also is a luxury yarn. So there's that. Now, if you have a dislike for cashmere or anything like that, please contact me if you'd like to be part of the club, and I can always substitute another base. There is always that option if that's what you would like. Club colourways are available to current club members if they would like to order more, and also club members get to order anything else from the shop with no shipping, and it gets shipped with their monthly club shipment. So there's that to consider as well. I myself love being members of clubs. I love getting yarns that have been inspired by a dye, but also often getting yarns that I wouldn't normally choose. There's probably no way I would ever have ordered this hunting tweed yarn. I would have looked at it and gone, oh, it's a bit taupey, a bit browny for me. But seeing this knit up like this, I'm loving it. So it takes you outside your comfort zone. There's also destashing, and I don't mind if people destash club yarns if it's something they're not happy with. I've got no problem with that at all. So there is that option. So again, club spots will be up. I'm changing the logo this month. I did the last one really hastily and it wasn't that good. So they will be heading up very soon. Now, is there anything else? I think that's about it. This is episode number 50, which means the Podiversary is coming up really, really soon. I think it's Christmas in 2 weeks. I'm not going to record Christmas Day, I don't think. I might record Boxing Day. I'm not sure I'm going to have an update that week, although there will be Boxing Day. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll play that one by ear and let you know next week, because it will be the Podiversary week. We are also, I think, 4 members off hitting 250 members. And I've always said when we hit 250 members, there will be a giveaway. So if you are looking at joining this Solar Flare Fibres group, it is a really good, Down Under Yarn group. Sorry, there's 2 groups. If you're looking at joining a Down Under Yarn group, really good time to do that would be now, because then there will be a drawing, and that will be in the next couple of weeks. There will also be the Podiversary, and I've got an idea about what's going to happen, but I'll be announcing that next week, and that'll be going through January, at least part of January, for the prizes. Now, there's something else. Oh yes, finished objects with Solar Flare Fibres. Each quarter I'm going to be doing a drawing from all the finished objects. So if you have crafted something using Solar Flare Fibres, there's a thread open in the Solar Flare Fibres group. Please head over and leave a copy of your item. And I know there's been lots and lots done in the last quarter because I've been in favoured them all. So please head in there and do that, and the winner will win a skein of Solar Flare Fibres. The light is fading fast. The neighbours across the road have their Christmas lights on. Can't really see them very much at the moment. They park their truck right in front of their house, so it means we don't get a good view. And I feel like going over there one night and saying, hey, you just park around the corner one night so I can come over and take some video, because my podcast people would really like to see it. But I think I'd probably sound a bit crazy if I did that. So, yeah. Anyway, until next week, I'm going to say, uru, cheers, bye.